Have you ever heard of the story of Charlie Chaplin and his exile from America? The reason they wouldn't let him go back to America? It was like in I believe it was the 50s. He was on his way, but the attorney general said, "You can't come to America. You're no longer allowed here." It's something that is so sad to me. I constantly find the biographies of really, really creative people who change the world through their creativity, who affect millions and millions and millions of people, to be crucified. That's the word I use. It's not a real word in that regards, but to be just scapegoated and tortured, socially, personally, fiscally, because of governments. Well, I should just put a period there. Because of the government, I find this so hurtful and unbelievable, and it's very sad. And I never knew how common it really is. Well, it is. It's not even was. It is. Why they work so hard to hurt people that seem to be helpful to the country, to the world. He was helpful to the world. It's just it's so really scary to me. Like, you would think the country, the government, the military, the energy, the cops, the politicians, whatever you want to call the group of people, and all that tax money, right? All the funding, you would think they would be directed toward evil, toward crime, and toward problems, and to helping the hungry and the hurting and all the problems that we have. But when you see all these resources then focus on something as non-threatening as Charlie Chaplin, I never seem to understand it. In fact, it probably bothers me so much that I hurt their feelings and they wish me harm. Not the U.S. government, but you know what I mean. I don't see things as, when you talk about this, it's black and white. You say the government. Now, anyone who drives a dump truck on the highway is working for the government, but that's not really what I mean. I don't really mean everyone who gets a paycheck. It's just too impossible to cut down to the actual guilty people. But you just say the government. But it's not, I love America. I love the government. When you think of what the government has done for me, I got my start. I got my whole life teaching all that. But when you're trying to describe the energy that hurt Charlie Chaplin, I don't know how to describe it, but you just say the government, because that's, what I'm saying. It's probably not the best use of my language. I just never know how to word it or how to cut it up. But you wonder, you always think the government is a team, but it's not a team. It's really, really heartbreaking, because you would think, like, if government official number one said Charlie Chaplin's bad, that maybe government official 2, 3, and 4 went, "Hey, number one, you're not accurate. He's a really sweet man, very creative, gave his whole life to us, broke all these bones, jumping out of trains, and look what he's given to us. It's different than what many people has given us. Most people don't give us anything. But here's this man who has given us this, whatever." I feel this way about Robin Williams all the time. What he's given us from his soul, spirit, body, and talent, it's just unbelievable. So I may never really get over this. Here I am going back 100 years or whatever with Charlie Chaplin. I just learned about this. Like, I'm going to study it some more. I got so sad, so immediately sad when I heard he was exiled from America. I'm like, why don't we exile, like, how about the drug dealers? How about child predators? How about, what I mean? Like, why don't we hurt people who hurt people? Not hurt people who dress up like a clown and make us laugh. You know what I mean? So their accusation is that he was a communist. And I understand back then you probably were more worried about people's beliefs. And I don't know anything enough to say it's true or not. I can't say that he wasn't a communist. I just understand creative contributions because I've done them my whole life. I'm nowhere near Charlie Chaplin. No one's going to remember me. But I know that for my whole entire life, whether the tax dollar paid me or a mom or a dad, is that I've given of myself. And I've had the purest of intentions to give more and more and more, usually to people, to a kid, to a mom, to a dad, to a family, to a school, to YMCA. I don't know. It's just very normal for me to want to have given what I can do. I can't do a lot. I had to give my talents, which is singing, playing the piano, directing, inspiring kids, acting, putting on shows. That's what I gave. So I'm going to go study some more because I'm okay with being melancholy for the next few hours. But I just wanted to say again, Charlie Chaplin, if you're ever down or blue or feel like you're being bullied or you don't know why the people are so mean to you or how come she was so rude at the tax office or the mayor doesn't listen to me, he's never listening to me, I write letters, they don't do anything I say. Maybe you're on the board of ed and you feel frustrated. Maybe you're I don't know, maybe somehow the government in some way in America has made you feel less valuable. Well, imagine a man as recognizable as Charlie Chaplin, a man who's given as much of his life to us as Charlie Chaplin, and then being exiled from a country because they don't like what you say. That is, it's so painful for me. Like, no, but I don't know. I'm so sad. I'm actually so freaking sad because you're just like, America is built on the fact that when you don't like something, you can say it. You can say it. That's the whole point of leaving the British Isle and the running from the king and the queens and the monarchy, and it's just, I don't know, man. I'm never gonna heal. Why does, and that word comes out again? That's why I talk so much about secret societies, because it's got to be secret societies who have that leverage or the gossip pull, or they probably hated him for whatever reason that you don't even know. Oh, they listed a whole bunch of things. And they did. It probably was the Masons. I don't know if I should say the Masons. I'm really hard on these poor people. But they have a formula. And a lot of you'll find a lot of people feeling bad who are around the world who've been doing this for generations because they're in the secret societies. And they're starting to repent. And they're like, listen, I got a great video of a woman who releases everything. And she just says, look, we need your forgiveness. We've been hurting people, lying about people, smearing people, taking over their worlds, taking their money, crushing them, crushing their neighborhoods, crushing their countries, crushing their whatever by doing this formulated lie, smear, attack, destroy, use government power to whatever. And she admits it. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And you feel, okay, I knew. I didn't want to tell the people that I knew, but like, whenever you hear racism or this anti-whatever, it's always controlled by the secret societies in power. And so if they did it to Michael Jackson, they did it to Prince, they did it, I don't know what the negotiation was with O.J. Simpson, but something was in there. Everything is staged that way. Now, I wanted to believe it was like current. But you go back 100 years and whatever, and you see Charlie Chaplin, it's so crazy. You would think these powerful people, which they are so powerful, you would think they would be elated with other powerful people like a Charlie Chaplin. Is he powerful? No, he doesn't have guns or nothing. He's not like, he can't take over a state like the Masons can control military. But he's just a good-hearted person who lives in your country. He's making you laugh. He's making maybe your kids laugh. And to think the degree of diabolical actions against people like that, I don't understand why they do that. I think I do know maybe it is theft. It probably is theft. It's usually the taking of resources or the destruction. And they don't want to just destroy, they want to steal from whatever they're destroying. Not necessarily, Masons, but whatever this energy is. And you just wonder, like, man, that is just evil. There's really nothing more evil except child predatorial behavior than just to hurt the positive. I don't know. Stupid video, probably. But maybe you could do some research and look around you. Maybe it's happening to people around you. I'm so happy I just got my old band hat here. That's my first band. I miss the boys. And I realized I was on a meme or something. My hair's so bunk. I was on a meme and it said, if you could, if you could go back in time, what's one thing you would do that you regret, or what's one thing you would say? And I think the first thing I wrote was, I would tell Marty we should not break up the band. And I mean that. We were really strong for an original idea, and he was the core. Anyway, I love the past. I went real far back with Charlie Chaplin, and I'm gonna spend some time crying over this poor man's. What? This is crazy. This world is so evil because of other people, man. Charlie, I don't know you. I respect you, and I'm sorry that somebody thought you should be exiled. That is crazy. So far from a criminal. I don't get it. I'm never going to get it. I love you. Check out Charlie Chaplin.